Hey guys, it's Lisa, back with another video for you for Lisa Wise Designs, and today we're going to finish up our Scenic Route wallet and box combo project we have been working on. So we basically finished up our box. We have made, let's see, all right, we need to make these two pieces here, which we're going to work on today, and we have finished up our wallet. We did a walkthrough last time of what I'm going to put in the box, but guess who forgot to finish adding some of her chipboard pieces on this one? Yeah, that's me. Right after I turned off the camera on the last video, I realized I didn't put a couple of these pieces. So let's go ahead and put these two little dots here, the one that says memories and the suitcase on the chipboard. And then, yeah, I put this one on the inside. All right, I'm sure some of you have already caught that. But anyway, I wanted to do that with you. So I'm going to be picking some of this lighter blue, two dots here, here and here. There we go. So as I'm talking and putting this on, I will tell you, so I'm just gonna eyeball center on this little blue strip here, but I'm gonna add some glue. If you want to do this project with me, I do have a handful of this theme, the Scenic Route theme. I am sold out of the magical theme. I do have a few of this theme left. It's kind of the generic travel. And you can pick up those kits over on Etsy, and the link to my Etsy shop is down below in the description box. And I have a lot of people who have bought this project and have left me some positive feedback, so I am so excited that you out there are following along with me making it and that you're excited about it. I've had people ask just to purchase the box, but unfortunately I don't have any extras. I had one person contact me about buying quite a few, and I sold them everything that I had left. All right, so if this ever happens, a little adhesive strip just came off, which is fine. I'd rather just have the whole thing off than it just be flapping around. So just gonna put my own glue on here. And this is the one that says memories here at the bottom. I'm gonna put that right here. And if you want to make this project with your own paper, your own cardstock, you can always just pick up the tutorial, and that's going to be how to make the wallet only. Since you don't have the box, you know, the box directions will not be in there, and neither will the inside of the box pieces. But it'll teach you how to walk through that wallet. Okay, and then this pretty suitcase here. Right there, just to add a little more. Okay, I think I am finally finished with the box. Looks cute, looks cute. Okay, like I said, today we're going to finish up this project. We're going to make these other two inserts that come in the box. This is the glassine bag, and this is the folder. So in my last set of videos, when I did the magical theme, I gave you verbally the dimensions on this folder because it's not going to be in the PDF version if you're doing the tutorial only, and I thought that you might want to do that. So if you're looking for, on this particular piece, the dimensions, go back and watch that video. I'm not going to walk through that again, but I thought some of you might want to do this even though it's not in the tutorial only version. Okay, so if you're following along with me, if you picked up the kit, then you'll have all these pieces in your tutorial. So on the top of page 24, you're going to grab that glassine bag that was in your kit. And this glassine bag is 6 by 7.5, in case anyone is wondering. We're going to look for some vertical cutter parts. And I don't think I have cut these all up, so let's look for that. And let me turn my phone off. Here we go. These are the cutter parts that I have left that I have not cut. So I'm going to go ahead and cut all 3 of those because we will be using all 3. You might as well. So, like so. So I need that one. I'll put this in my tray for now. Okay. So then we need that directional pattern paper. We need some scraps of that. It's got that north, south, east, west dealy. And then we're gonna need some of this reddish paper. So I'm gonna go ahead and take that. All right, let me look. Do all my scraps. There's another good piece. What was on the back of that one? I don't know. All right, I'm still looking. This is the only piece that we have left intact by 12 by 12. Here it is. So this is the only one that's left, and we're going to use this to make that file, not a file folder, but just a folder. All right, so I need this. I need some red. Okay. So I kind of want these little strips here. This is north, south, east, west. I know I'm gonna get all of it in there, but you know, it's already kind of cut on one side really close. So let's see, directional paper. We need 3/4 by 6 inch. So 3/4 wide. Let's see what that would get me. So I'm going to be a little persnickety and go cut a little bit off. And then go over to 3/4 so I get most of this little directional thing in here, in that strip. And let's see, it needs to be 6 inches, so that's great. I think that this is a 12-inch piece. Awesome, so then I just needed one of those. There's that. I mean, just one strip, because I could get 2 of them out of it, because it needs to be 6 inches. Again, I'm at the top of page 24 up here. And then the red pattern paper, I need to be 3/8 of an inch by 5.5. So 3/8 is bigger than a half. No, it's smaller than a half. It's between 1/4 and a half. 3/8. I have to think about those eighths just like y'all do. Like, what is it now? And then this, we need 2 strips of this so I can get it out of one piece of paper. It is 5.5. Here and here. Once again, I am piecing this together because I only have so much pattern paper left. And I also wanted to use these really pretty cut-aparts because they're already layered for you, decorated. They just may not be quite big enough. So that is why I am doing this piece. Right. Hitting it with Distress ink. And through this whole project, I have used the color Vintage Photo. Right. So hit this. And then this is what's going to be the decorations to the front of our glassine bag. Then we're going to put some tags in there. Finally, we'll make a little piece where we can put some journaling. And of course, you could put it other places, but this we're going to set aside to make sure we get some journaling in. That's going to go in this glassine bag. And then you can also, if you have extra pictures, you'll see where I have made a couple of extra pieces to put into mine because, gosh, I had so many photos on this trip. And this is only half the trip. This is only the Philadelphia piece. I still got to do another box with stuff in it for New York. But it's a labor of love, right? All right, so grab the glassine bag. Like I said, we're doing the front, so this is kind of the way it's going to lay out. You have this, 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 and this like this here, roughly. And there's a picture on the top of 24, like I said. Now, you could lay it out here and start gluing, but the easiest way to me to do this is get some regular old Scotch tape, any clear tape, and flip this over the way I want it. Yeah, just be sure you've got your orientations correct. And I like to kind of tape mine on the back together. That way I got one big piece, and that way I can easily center it on the place that I'm putting it, which in this instant is the front of a glassine bag. It just makes it easier to center. All right, and then this red. It's just like lettering, you know. It's kind of difficult to know where to start when you're trying to do some decorative lettering or putting down letter stickers, right? And you always start like a little bit over from the, you know, the left, and then by the time you get to the right, the end, you're like, okay, well, I ran out of room, or I've got way too much room on one end and not the other. I guess that's an art. I don't know. I'm not a good letterist. I bought a little planner that kind of walks you through how to brush letter, and I have been doing some of that on the side, but anyway, it's not as easy as you would think. So anyway, once you have all this kind of taped together, then it makes it really easy to put glue on the whole thing and then place it down as one piece, and then you can center it top, you know, bottom, left, right, a lot easier. But it doesn't have to be this way. You could do it the other way. Okay. Looks good. Easy peasy. So I'm going to go ahead and get into my stickers. And let's layer a couple of these on. Let me get this right here is what we're going to do. We're going to put this globe, and then we're going to put one of those little ribbons that says let's head out. So here's the globe here. I'm going to hit the edges a little bit with my ink. I'm just going to let this sit here. And then you could choose any one of these that says abroad, hello there, getaway, memories, destination. I like the let's head out here. And I had a little bitty gap in my paper here, so I'm going to put mine over to the right. And that one. So here's one if you did it more to the left, but I want to kind of cover up that gap, but it still looks awesome. So let's decorate the back. So the second set of pictures here on 24, matte the glassine back. Okay, let's kind of put this out of the way. What you're going to need is another one of those 4x6 cutter parts, but this one is the horizontal. And I liked the frame of this, but I did not like the hot air balloon. So we're going to cover that piece up, and we're going to put an airplane here. All right, so feel free to do that how you would like to do. Now this one, since it's going in the horizontal direction, we're going to have to trim it down a little bit because it's 6 inches wide and this is 6 inches wide. So we're going to trim down this to 5.5 wide. So I need to take off 1/4 of an inch on both sides. Oh no, I took off, sorry. I did do the 1/2 inch. Didn't I? Yeah. I took it all off on the right side, right here, because I was going to put a strip and cover up there. Sorry. So take off a 1/2 inch there on the right side. And then we need to trim it down 3.5 tall. So yes, on this one is the one. I took off 1/4 of an inch top and bottom. Okay. There we go. I can keep those. Those are good little strips. So now we've got about 3.5 by 5.5. So here we go. Let's see, let me get this out of the way. So we need the airplane pattern paper. So here is this, and we want it in this orientation. So the airplane pattern paper needs to be 5.5 wide for sure. All right, 5.5. Over here, and I need a couple of strips of that for top and bottom. So it needs to be 1 5/8. Oh, don't you love that? So we go to 1.5, and we go up a little bit. It's between 1.5 and 1 3/4. That gives us 1 5/8. If you wanted to round down to 1.5, you could. You're just going to have a bigger border. So here's my plain pieces. And what else? The dot pattern, which is on the back of that plain paper. Yeah, I did 3.5 by, okay, so 1 5/8 again. So a little bit more than 1.5. Okay, not much left of that little piece. And then go over to, yeah, 3.5. And let me see what we've got here. So first of all, let's build on this balloon. What I did, my ink is here. Let me know if you've enjoyed this project, if you want to see more kind of like this style that we have been doing. If you want to see more albums, you know, what's your favorite thing that you've been watching that I make that you'd like to see again? I haven't made an album in a while. I've been concentrating on like some of these smaller projects, and maybe they're not smaller, they're just broken down into more pieces, I guess. They're little bite-sized pieces by making these smaller elements to put in a bigger project like the box. I guess, I hope that makes sense. Alright, so what I decided to do then is just kind of camouflage this by covering it up, that balloon, and then putting what I wanted to on here. So you could do journaling, but I'm going to put a nice big sticker there, and another sticker here, and I'm going to put airplanes here and here. Alright, so I'm going to do that same trick and flip this over. Just going to make sure I got my orientations correct. There's those beautiful cameras again that I love. Like I said, this is an extra step that you may not want to do, but I like it when I'm trying to get something centered on a bigger piece. It's just easier for me. It's worth it to take out that little stress. All right. So I'm going to focus on putting this in the center, right and left, and toward the bottom. I'm going to have a big piece at the top because that's the back of that glassine bag, like the lip, so to speak, of the bag, that we won't see that on the front. So if we went higher than this, we would see it from the front, but you know, it's all, I guess, how you look at it, right? Your perspective, if that would bother you or not. Because you can see through this glassine bag. And like if there was paper here, you see how you could see, well, you may not can. You can see it from the back. Anyway, I digress. So I'm going to take this little dot piece and I'm going to put it over the balloon and just covering that up because I didn't like the balloon. I wanted to show airplanes. So this is another way you can use what's in your kit even though you don't necessarily like something to see. It just looks like it was made to be that way. And it's going to be even more when we put this big old plane here. Big O. Take this little old-timey looking plane. I'm going to hit it with some ink. All right. And I'm going to put it toward, at an angle toward the top here. I'm going to leave this little space here because I'm going to put a little quote. And don't remember if that is a sticker or a piece of ephemera. I think it's ephemera. Let's see here. It says, "Let's go." And this, it also had a little plane on it, so it all kind of pulls it together. Here we go. I like the shape of this, plus I like that it had a little plane, and that's the little theme I got going on the back here. Cool, cool, cool. I like that. It's so cute. So cute. All right, that was quick and easy. So let's start working on some of the inserts that's going to go in here. So we're going to be making this tag and these little booklets that go in the front, inside, in the front. All right, starting with the tag, so move this out of my way. All right, this one's first. Move this. All right, so the middle of page 24, need a little drink. Okay, that cut apart. Again, a vertical one. We just cut this apart, so here we're gonna need that one. We're going to need some of that blue check scraps. So let's look through my little scraps here. Need that. Are you like me and you love to use up as much of your paper that you purchased as possible? And it's just a great feeling when you can use the majority of it up and move on to your next project, right? Without having to figure out what you're going to do with the leftovers. Except in this case, I can't seem to find the scraps I need. I might have used it all. I'm looking. I didn't see it. I'm going to turn my fan on. It is really warm. Oh, here's some more scraps. The weatherman kept saying, here it is. Weatherman kept saying that, sorry, let me go turn my fan on. Kept saying that we're going to have fall and the fall weather's here. And then a couple days later, when those temperatures don't drop, and they're saying, oh, well, maybe not quite so much yet. You're like, come on, I'm dying over here. It's hot in the south. Okay, the blue check paper, 1/2 inch by 4, and then 1 1/4 by 4. All right. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut this at 4 inches first. And let's see if we can get both of those pieces out. I'm usually do a better job keeping my scraps together, but I've got them everywhere this time. Oh, that feels so good. Wind. So 1/2 inch. And then 1 1/4. Oh yeah, that works great. I'll flip it because it's not doing real well here. And again, we're working on this tag, and I'm in the middle of page 24. So there's the blue piece. So we got the cut apart, turned down a 4x6, it's already that. So we need to trim it to 5 3/8. So we're going to trim a little bit of this off. So I'm going to go all the way really close to Adventures on the bottom. All right, and let's see what I need to cut off the top then. So then that would be 5 3/8 would be there. So that would be a little less than 5 1/2. There we go, right to the top of the camera. Trim that down a little bit. Is that what we need? Okay. Let's go ahead and cut what we need for the back so we're not going back and forth. So that's kind of all you need for this front. We'll add the rest later. And then we're going to cut one more sheet of paper. And this is going to be, I love using this too. We're going to cut off this piece was the cover sheet of your paper pack. And I learned this trick from Brenda, who works with May Made It as one of her teachers. And I thought, brilliant. So I'm just going to go from the top and cut 4 inches. The only thing I don't like is this is glossy paper. It's a different type of paper than this. So, but if I can find somewhere where it stands alone, like a tag, it's not like right next to another piece of paper, you don't even notice it. It's pretty awesome. Now, it's the last time I'm going to use that, so I'm just going to put that out of my way. Then you just got to decide which one that you like for a tag. So on this one, I started at the top here, and it stopped about right there. Or if you want this piece at the bottom, so just choose which side that you want that's going to show on your tag. And we're going to cut it down to 7 1/4. So to open this up, it's pretty long. 7 1/4. So if you cut it at the top like mine, it's got the red, and it kind of ends with a little bitty strip of like the world. I'll put this in my scraps just in case. All right, so now grab your tag out of your kit. This is an 8 by 4 tag. And let's start here. First of all, let's use our distress ink. We've got one more set of classes in person this year, as far as I know of, at May Made It, and it's already sold out, but it is next weekend, and I'm looking so forward to that. This is online. We've done one in person, and then I know that she's going to have like a Christmas open house in November, so there'll be a few things there. And then, y'all, it is the holidays. It is time to decorate our house. I'm so excited. I skipped fall again this year, which I'm just so mad at myself. I just couldn't get it all done. I couldn't teach in person, do these tutorials. I've been traveling for work, you know, keeping my grandbaby some. I just couldn't get it all done. So I skipped it last year too because I went straight to Christmas for an event. So I decorated my house in October, you guys. In October, I decorated my house for Christmas, and I really enjoyed it. But it was a little much. I mean, when you start having to dust your Christmas tree, like, okay. It was up too long this time, even though I did enjoy it. So I'm going to start at the bottom of my tag with this larger piece. Yes, even though I did enjoy it. So I said I would definitely do it this year, but I just didn't. And now I feel like it's almost too late because I want to put my Christmas up the 1st of November. So I have plenty of time because it takes me 2 or 3 weekends to decorate everything. The inside of my house, you know, to do the stocking piece, to do my nativity scene, you know, the trees. And then it takes a whole weekend to do the outside with the lights. And anyway, I feel like by the time Thanksgiving rolls around, I want to have it all done. That way I can host people if I need to, which I have done a lot in the recent past. And I also just want to be able to sit and enjoy it for a month before I have to take it all down again. But you'll have to let me know too when you put up your tree. I know a lot of people put it up Thanksgiving week, which I think is what my sister does. She decorates her house, but I think she puts up her actual tree is like the last thing she does, like the days after Christmas when she's off work on those Black Friday type thing. All right, so let's finish up this tag. We need the navy ribbon. Navy, see how that pulls into that blue? It's so pretty. Then I'm going to get some stickers, and I put my passport sticker at the top here. Just thought that was cute at the end of this little strip here. And well, here, that would help because I already have it done, right? And then here, I decided to use the little world. Right here, there's a teeny tiny world, but then it's so small it's going to kind of get lost. So what I did is took some washi, which is not here. See, I've been terrible about cleaning up. Here it is. Look at there. I didn't even see it because it's supposed to be like right here, standing up. I've been terrible this time about cleaning up after myself. You ever get those days where you're just almost frantic? There's just so much going on all the time. Where you just run from one thing to the next. And work has had me frantic. I just can't seem to get it all done. So I just tore off a little piece here just to kind of give it a place to land. And then put that little world. I just thought that was fun. Just a way to use some of these small stickers like so. All right. We'll wait and put our ribbon on. Flip this over, so now we can put this piece on. Now, this one sometimes gives me, since it's that glossy paper, sometimes the ink, it takes longer to dry on this type paper, and so you might get it on your hands more, so just be aware of that. This here. Okay. Then I'm going to kind of dry fit it here. Yeah, and then I'm going to put it all the way flush at the bottom. Again. I think this is a fun way to use that. Paper doesn't go to waste. And I really like having this little busy pattern. I don't know what I just said. Busy pattern paper. Pattern? Where did that come from? And since I wanted to see all these patterns, and I still wanted a place to journal, we're going to use these library cards. So in your packet, you have a library card. And you have this little plastic library card sleeve that's going to go here. So when you take out your library card, you can kind of still see the pattern paper. It's a little bit, what's the word? Like frosted glass looking? Anyway. So on this, let me get my thoughts together. Take a breath. Okay. That's what I have to do sometimes for a big meeting. Okay, so here is the pocket. Just make sure you know where your pocket is, the opening. So that's the top, so this will be the bottom. So I'm going to take the liner, half of it off. See, it comes, it's already cut down for you, off the bottom part of it, because here's the top. That's going to make it a little easier for you to line up before it all sticks down. So I'm going to try to line this up right and left, centered, and I'm going to put it right at the top of this little piece here. You see how when I was finished, I had like 1/4 of an inch at the bottom, then the red started? So I'm going to put mine at the top of this little piece, so about 1/4 of an inch from the bottom, and then kind of eyeball center right and left. So just take your time and do that, okay? And then start rolling it up toward the top. I'm just kind of holding it off the paper, and then just kind of rolling it up, getting out the air bubbles, moving upward until I get that down. So see, I got a few air bubbles here. I'm just kind of pushing them out. It may not be perfect. See, mine is not absolutely perfect. You see there's a couple little air bubbles here. I'm not going to worry about it. It's still going to look good. You're not going to see it, much of it, because the library pocket is going to be there most of the time. So then you can pull this back and then take off the rest of the tape liner, but just be really careful as you go that you start, you know, at the bottom again and just kind of push up. And then let it land where it wants to. There we go. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Well, it's not perfect, but it looks really cool anyway. And so then the library card will fit in here. You can do some journaling. So let's make this library card fit in with our theming. Hitting it with some some brown ink, front and back. So I think this is a sticker that says pack your bags right here. Oh, no, it just happens to be the same, but that one's much bigger. That's so funny. So it's obviously in my cut aparts here. This is what happens, like I said, when you design something and then weeks later you come back to it to make it again. But when I'm making kits, I have to design it and make it once to know exactly what I use so that I can put the kits together. I think I've said this before. So I make it and take pictures as I'm making it. And then I keep a detailed list of all the ingredients that are going in here, all the supplies. And then, see, I'm just going to put this right here. And then I'm going to put a strip of washi here and another sticker there. So I'm going to get my washi. Anyway, so I keep a detailed list. And then I sit down, and it takes me a week or so in between doing other things to write the tutorial. Print all that out. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue here where it says borrower's name and due date across there, and this is where this is going to land. And so my mom usually helps me make kits. I write the tutorial. I get everything kind of ready to go. Then I have to write, you know, the Etsy thing. I have to do, you know, a video telling people that it's ready to go. It's ready, you know, kind of doing the walkthrough. And then I have to put it on Facebook. And it's just a lot of prep work. Then once I start getting them for sale, I sit down and do these videos for you to actually follow along and make it. So I said all that to say this: there's quite a few weeks sometimes that goes between the first time I make it and the second time. So that's why I cut my paper differently. That's why I had to refer back to my notes, because hey, it's been a while and I ain't as young as I used to be. There we go. Like that. Okay, let's see. Now let's do bottom. I think that really is a sticker this time with the little airplane here. Is this not? Looks a little fuzzy. Let me see if I can get this back in focus here. think that's better. I'll hold this back up. Yeah, it's a little bit out of focus. Sorry about that. I'll put this here. Hope it's not been that way for the last 30 minutes, but you know, it is what it is. And then I'm just gonna kind of cover up those words there. So now I've got a really good place to journal here and here about our trip. I like that. And I'm just gonna take this ribbon and whichever that you want to be the front of your tag. It really doesn't matter which way you do it, but this is kind of how I did it. I turned it here. Once again, with the ribbon, you got about 7 to 8 inches of ribbon. I fold it in half, and then I put the folded piece, the loop, inside. Then I take these 2 tail pieces and pull it through. And then you can trim up your end pieces here. I like to ribbon tail mine, so I always fold it in half. Grab my scissors. I cut at an angle starting at the outside bottom, working up to the left toward my fingers, and that kind of gives you a pretty good little ribbon tail. If you do it the other way, see, I've had people do it this way, go from lower left to upper right, and see, it gives you that instead of this. So that's the difference, I guess, from the way you hold your scissors. Let me redo this one. So here, I'm going from bottom right, upper left. Did not cut that even, but that's okay. The other one's pretty. All right, so here's our first insert. Here. And it sticks out the top. Isn't that cute? Put this one up. So the next one we're going to make at the top of page 25, we're going to do a photo mat booklet. So you should have 1 or 2 pieces left in your kit, depending on if you needed it, you know, throughout this. But you should have 1 piece left. If you don't fret. It doesn't have to exactly match. You can use anything, any color of cardstock that you have in your scraps or in your stash at home. Move this. Does not have to match on this, it's just an insert. So, helps if I cut it down first, Lisa. So I'm at the top of page 25, and this is 8.5 by 6 1/4. So this is already 8.5 here, because this is 8.5 by 11. So I don't need to cut the 8.5. I need to turn it this way. I need to cut it 6 1/4. So 6 1/4. I have this left, like that. You could simply fold this in half, or you could put it in your scoreboard on the 8.5 inch side and score it at 4 1/4. So we're gonna do that. Or like I said, you could just fold it in half. Fold this. Make sure it exactly lines up. Use my bone folder here. I'm going to hit it with ink, and this is just a simple way to put 4 by 6 photos, which is what our norm is, right? When you order online or at some of these big box stores and pick up, that's like the normal size. But if you can use the same logic if your photos are a little smaller and just trim it off, because for some reason, I don't know, I guess you've probably seen this too. When you order photos now, tell you, oh, the optimal size is to keep it at 4, but to go down to like, I don't know, 5 5/8 or something strange. It's smaller than 6, but it doesn't cut off like people's faces if they're on the edges of the photos or whatever. Some of you'll know what I'm talking about. So when I get those photos, which I have some of those, and you put them in here, they're a little too short. So I just try to put all those together and then trim this down. All right, so 4 by 6. So the only 4 by 6 vertical one I had left was this lady with the Eiffel Tower. So you could put that on here. This Bon Voyage we did not use on the inside because I used a photo. So you could use this, or you could put 4 photos in here, however you want to. But this is how I did this one. I put this pretty lady on the front, and then I just left room for 3 photos here. So let me look at my photos. I went ahead and made some extras of these. Like, see, this is what I'm talking about. This is the smaller photos that you can get. They're, oh, it's 5 1/4. 5 1/4 by 4 is what they say. This is your optimal size, blah, blah, blah. So here are some extra photos. So I just made some extras of these. Now, like I said, you won't have as much of this parchment paper to do all these extra ones, but you can always use any cardstock that matches with this pattern paper. Cute. This is Gettysburg. All right. So then I have this really cool artistic shot of Gettysburg, and then I've got Abraham Lincoln here and Jackson sitting there. And then I'm not sure what this building was in Gettysburg. I'd have to go back and look. My sister's going to kill me. But anyway, the kids were standing at the top of it right here on this balcony. And so here's a zoomed in version. So I just kind of thought that was funny there. So now I have to decide what I want to put on the front of mine. I don't really want the Eiffel Tower on this one. The Bon Voyage is cute. Adventure Awaits, but I'm going to use that one later. Or I might just put another photo on it. So I think I'm going to kind of open this up. Just go ahead and put these in here. Okay. I was going to say, between the time I was talking and now, my glue has decided to dry up on me. Are you kidding me? It finally came through. I do keep a pen near me, a stainless steel pen, because every once in a while it will do that. I guess, I wonder if I could put that Eiffel Tower picture and do, cut apart and do the same thing and put something else there. But I'm not going to put too much time into that right now. And then put this on the back. But this way you can get more photos by making more of these photo booklets. Just simplified little booklets. You can add stickers to them or ephemera pieces. Put that in here. So cute. So now this piece is done. So we're going to go ahead. We're not going to finish in this video. I said we would finish, but we're not. I'm not going to rush through it. We need to make this folder here. And we need to make the little inserts. And then I want to go back through the project and add stickers and ephemera. So let's go ahead and make the folder, which I think is the next piece. And then in the next video, oh, okay, we're really going to have one more video. And then we'll come back and do the inserts and then go back and put that, because I don't want to rush through it. So in the middle of page 25, let's do the folder. And like I said, if you want to make this folder and you didn't buy the kit, you just bought the tutorial only, I don't think this instructions are in here. But if you go back to the last video I did in the magical where I made the folder, I do tell you what the dimensions are, just in case you wanted to make it. I didn't think about it then when I was putting it out there. So what we're going to do first is we need a piece that's 10 wide, 10 1/2 tall. So I'm going to go ahead and do the 10 1/2 tall here. 10 wide. And look at me, I am telling you as I go what they are. I keep saying I'm not, but I can't help it. All right, so I'm putting this in on the 10-inch side here. Score on the 10-inch side at 1/2. 5. 9.5. Score on the 10.5 inch side. So you want to turn it this way. So the top of your paper now is on the side here, because this is the bottom, and that's what we're going to score right now. So 7.5 on that 10.5 inch side, yes. Because we want this flap to be at the bottom, so that's why you want to turn your paper. So the top of your paper then goes here on the left side if you're using a scoreboard like mine, because you want that that smaller score to be toward the bottom, and that's it. Yep, that's it. All right, so now we're going to flip to the other side. Flip over to this side. We're going to cut the rectangles off the bottom. It's kind of hard to see here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold all of these to the inside, so maybe that you can see this a little better. Okay, so now you can see there is a score here and then one here. So there's these long little rectangles, these 1/2 inch rectangles. We're going to cut those rectangles away. I'm going to actually cut off the score line so that score line is gone. If you don't do that, you may have to do some more trimming when we put this together. But I'm cutting away the score line. Just like that, there's two long rectangles there at the bottom. Then we're going to go back to tape. And we're going to put tape on what's left, the right and the left side. Tape here. Since I folded it first, it's wanting to fold up on me and grab my tape prematurely. No premature taping. Like so. Now we're going to be on the top of 26. So you're going to want a ruler, a pencil. We're going to make an 1/8 of an inch mark on both sides of this center line. So I'm going to put I'm going to put it on the 0 just so you can see what I'm doing here. Maybe you can see. Let me zoom in a little bit here. Put this on the 0. So I'm going to come over an 1/8 of an inch right here and right here. You can see there's an 1/8 of an inch on each side. And then I'm going to draw a line to here's the top of the score lines right here. I'm going to draw a line from each one of those. Here. And to here. It doesn't have to be perfect, but you know, just do the best you can. Like that. So from each 1/8 of an inch line away from the score all the way up there. We're going to cut that triangle away. Y'all, I can't find anything. I thought I was going to spend 10 minutes looking for my big scissors. Every time I craft away from home and pack things away, I'm like, where am I? All right, so now I need to zoom back out a little bit. Or maybe you like being this close. I don't know. There we go. So now you have this little triangle piece that we cut out. So this eventually here is going to fold up and over. So just test that out. If you find where this is hitting, you might need to cut a little more. See, mine's kind of really close here at the bottom, so I might need a little bit more out of the center. So just test it, see what you think. Doesn't have to be exact on this folder, but I think I am going to cut this side a little bit more. It's just being persnickety on me. Just cut it a little deeper here. And so now's probably the time to go around edges if you want to do that. This is not going to show. It's going to go up like this. So I'm going to do it on this side because this is the one that will show. Before we glue any of this into place, if you want to have this look, because this is going to be going up like this. And then fold this to the inside. I like having that inside done here. These will be coming down here. So we can do this later. And then I'll do this top piece. And then fold these down. Okay. Back to the directions here. So we cut out our pencil mark. So now we're at the bottom of page 26. It says fold on the 3-inch score lines up toward the center, forming the pockets. Then we'll go to page 27 and make our pencil marks. So with these folded into place, you want a pencil mark off to the right. I will hold this up in just a second on both sides. Right here, right at the top, where this connects, you just make a little pencil mark. Because then you're going to come in here and you're going to cut on up to that 1/2 inch so that these two now are separate. Okay, you just want it to be even with the top of that. I hope that now makes sense. So I'm just cutting up to that 1/2 inch and we'll stop where the score line starts. Right? Just so that this now is separated. Okay. So remove the tape backing on the top piece and fold it over. So this piece is right here. All right, these little top pieces. All right, and fold that over. Burnish that really good. Okay. So the next thing is we're going to, now that that's done, when we fold up the pockets, then this will fold over and that's what's going to hold this pocket up. And so then you still have your slit here where you can put large items. I hope that makes sense. So let's do that. If you didn't put that slit in there, you just folded it over on top, you could do it that way. You're just going to lose a 1/2 inch of room, right? If you didn't have the slit in here, you wouldn't be able to put something right there. It would stop here, which is okay, just depending on what size of ephemera that you want to put in here. So I sized this one to be the ephemera that we're using and just kind of worked backwards. Isn't this fun? Looks like the little folders we used in school, just a miniature size. I love how this turned out, so cute. All right. Now let's see where we are. So we're here in the middle of 28, and so I took one of our cut aparts and put that here. So I had put this to the side. Live your life by a compass, not a clock. So I kind of liked how that was like tone on tone, green on green. This is a 3x4 cut apart, and so let's mat it. So I'm going to look through my scraps and cut a 3 1/4 by 4 1/4 piece. So 3 1/4, 4 1/4. Perfect. Oh, I'm working way up the top, sorry. And then all we have left to do is decorate the front. And then when we come back in the next video, we'll make the inserts And then we can do like a last flip through and add some whatever stickers we have left, whatever ephemera we have left, whatever we think it needs to kind of gussy it up. So I put mine here on the right side just to add a little more detail here, and then I only put glue on this bottom half, so about where compass is down. So when I flip this over, I'm going to kind of put my finger here, just kind of help mentally remind me. I only put glue here, down. All right. And then that way I can put this here. And it will add some more stability also. I think this is fun. So what I did on the front is I used a 4x4 cut apart that said work, save, travel, repeat. Here it is. And even making these videos, it's been a week or so in between videos sometimes for me traveling for work and then teaching. So I have to kind of remember, did I already cut this out? I like to sit down in 1 or 2 weekends, like long stretches, and do these videos for you, but you know, life happens. So I like this right here, and then kind of add to it. So where is my one that has done here? So I put that here, and then I added another little luggage tag, and then I put some strips of washi and a couple more stickers. So let's go ahead and put this down. And that kind of helps ground it. Look at that plaid, y'all, on the back of this. That was like my favorite piece out of this whole thing. So I'm gonna make sure right to left that it's as centered as possible, leaving a little bit of room at the bottom so I can put these little touches here. Because you know what, we got this washi, we might as well use it. Just gonna take a strip of washi off. I like to put the glue kind of top and bottom, kind of the place I'm going to put it down. It just really gives it a good stick in that area. You don't have to cover the whole thing, but enough where it's going to hold it, where it's not going to want to start peeling up someday. And I use some of these little stickers here that looks like luggage tags. That. And then at the top, I did the same little cars here. Sorry, my phone was giving me an alert. It has rained so bad here. I mean, like flooded rain in the last few days. And it's been kind of scary in parts of Alabama. All right, so let's do this. We want this little piece here. All right, like so. Then I decided I wanted one more thing on here, and I chose this that says Getaway. I could use this one, but there was another one on here that was like a little strip that says Getaway, and it was right here. So either one. And that's going to finish us up for today. If you like this series, please give this video a like. And if you're not a subscriber, consider subscribing. It doesn't cost you anything. And once again, if you want to pick up the kit to make this, you can go in the description box below this video and follow that link to my Etsy shop and pick it up. And so I'll be back with one more video. Have I said that a couple times? One more video. I'm really enjoying making this. I hope that you are. I'm enjoying the progress. This is one of my favorite projects that I have ever made, and I love to travel, and I love making smaller elements to go in, like I said, this bigger project, but it's broken up into these little pieces to make, and I think that has been a lot of fun. So thank you guys, and I will see you back here tomorrow, same time, same place. Bye.